Gentlemen, start your engines. It is here. Glad it's Friday. That's right. We are live. I got myself.
I'm the mayor, guys. Can you hear me a little bit better today?
Hey, you guys love to throw comments about how you can't hear them. You better throw comments about how you can hear them.
Relocated in the mayor's mansion. Found a new place. Maybe it looks like the lighting brings out a little bit of maybe some different tinges in the beard, so that's good. But I'm not the only one. Who's that guy up there?
I'll be TMD.
TMD, Mr. Beard Stache in the building.
Mr. Beard Stache.
Mayor, how you doing? I got a chance to chat with TMD before the stream, but not so much you. How's your mind? How's your day, your family, your life?
You know, today started off with a weird. Some of these days, just with this weirdness in life, started out weird. I felt weird. Betsy was kind of feeling that same vibe, just of like, you know, I think somebody mentioned something about our governor saying something about the schools not going back in till next year or whatever, and I think that just knocks you off your game. Like what? Like whap, whap, whap. You keep getting hit with these things. So we were wrestling with that. And then, you know, there's always Betsy's got allergies. She's got a cough. Is it just her allergies? What's going on? I'm a little paranoid. I make people take, I check everybody's temperature every morning, just as a baseline. And you know, so you had a simple question. I had a long answer, but, basically we're good. I'm good. I was really glad to have this to look forward to today, and I'm glad to be here.
TMD, how are you doing? How's life? How's your day? All the above.
It's good. I stopped by the mayor's house today, and he wouldn't even let me get, what was it, like 15 feet from you?
You're always trying to get too close to me, though.
I was trying to come in for a little hug or something.
I get that a lot. You know, it's nothing personal. It is.
Backing away, and finally got in his car and took off. So I tell you, I felt a little jilted, but that's not usually the way the mayor treats me. But I do understand. It's the times.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to drop some jerky off to the mayor, and he said, "Stop!" And he held up 2 disinfectant sprays. He goes, "Throw the jerky in the air," and I threw it up. He goes, just unloaded 2 cans on it, and then like slowly backed away.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Why would you use 2 cans? Just one. You're out of control.
Yeah. So the mayor kind of dropped a big bomb to discuss, and I think it's on our minds. Our governor came out today and said that she thought, and this was no like declaration or anything official, but she thought that it was highly unlikely that we would be coming back to school this school year, which is what all 3 of us had discussed and assumed and thought. It wasn't something that like it was completely shocking. And we are normally out the second week of June, like June 14th, I think it was this year. And so that did officially kind of open up a big can that was a lot of waves of emotion, right? Time with my family. How am I going to teach online? But then like the big wave that hit me was my students. Like me and the mayor teach 8th grade. We have students that won't come back to our school. And there's a lot of things that kind of put an end cap to the middle school career, like their graduation, like their big Cedar Point field trip. And we do a lot of stuff at the end of the year. And we teach because we love it. We teach because we like being around students. Now, do we hope for a snow day here and there? Of course, right? That's natural. But this is not something that feels good. And I think that goes for most teachers and not being able to see the end of the year with some students, especially some 8th graders. I mentioned it last week that have been emailing me like, "Mr. Command, I missed your class. I really hope to see you soon." Like that says a lot for a young person to say like, "Hey man, we miss you. We wish you were back in your class." So yeah, I kind of went through that wild roller coaster of emotions and stuff. And I can't sit up here and be fake. There's a lot of this that I enjoy. I like spending time with my 2-month-old daughter. I like being able to help my wife at home. I like being able to spend time on the channel. I also am very comfortable with online teaching, online videos, online interactions. So that aspects I like. I miss my students. I miss being at school. That's probably the biggest one for me is how was your weekend? Making fun of kids with lighthearted, good intentions. So TMD, thoughts on that at all? When you heard the news, what went through your mind? What's going through your mind?
I think, like you said, I mean, we kind of see their handwriting on the wall. It's looking that way. We're starting to, find our groove, I think, with our online teaching. I know I've been trying that. I think I shared with you guys what a disaster it was for me.
Yeah. That's when you're good friends, when you can just say, man, that was ugly.
Yeah.
I know. And the kids were kind of looking at me. I've got I've got technology in the house, and I've got, but my bandwidth leaves a bit to be desired. And and my equipment is, maybe a little outdated, and I need to upgrade.
You're talking about your computer stuff or something more personal?
Part of it. That could be a little, my equipment. It's older than yours.
Wow, bless your heart, though. It's only a couple years.
So,
I think he's talking about like the microphone, though.
Right. I need to kickstart it a little bit, but either way, it was just kind of a mess this week. I mean, I think I've got things figured out now moving forward, but we're trying. We're trying to figure this out, and we're getting there. I mean, Dan sent out a really nice video this week on his that thing you sent out there. We have this thing called Career Day. And so Dan sent out a video of what he would have normally done for Career Day. And what Career Day looks like in our school is our 6th graders don't take part in it, but our 7th and 8th graders will rotate through all these different classrooms where you have people coming in from, different professions, and they talk about, what they do for a living, and give kids maybe hopefully, a little bit of a, plant a seed, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. And what happens then is, these kids sometimes will pursue that if they want to be a doctor, or a veterinarian, or what have you. And Dan does a pretty incredible job talking about his channel and what he does with that. And so he recorded it, and my kids and we watched it this week. And that was, I think it was our Monday or our Tuesday. That was our set down and watched it. I can see that's his comfort zone, and it gives me something to look forward to, I guess, to tie it back to my, horrible week in teaching online. I can see that there's definitely some potential with that. And I enjoyed, I think all my kids and I both enjoyed, all three of us got something from it this week. So there's hope for me, I think, anyways, but I'm hoping to hit it hard when we get back after spring break and do a better job. But as you said, I mean, I think we're going to have to get used to this.
Yeah, it's and thank you for the kind words. I really liked that making the Career Day video. I think I'm going to do something similar for my channel, for smaller channels or newer channels, advice on how to grow and capitalize on this time. So it'll be very similar to that. It's not much different. I just do what I'm comfortable with. And I think any good administrator would want people to do what they're comfortable with, not step outside of some zone that they can handle. And I know what I do well, and I avoid the rest, right? The TMD talked about a program that he was using. And even before, I was like, oh, no, not in my wheelhouse. Like, no, essentially what he had was, and everybody's probably seen it by now, is Zoom. And people come in. My son's karate's on Zoom. I did my tax meeting on Zoom because I couldn't go in. And having kids on video is that's just not in my wheelhouse. I like control. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all teachers adjust. Somebody brought up high school seniors. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what graduation is going to look like? But I will say, knowing my colleagues, knowing our administration, knowing many other administrations, I feel we have the people for the job, right? Some of the teachers that I know, some of the principals that I know, some of the superintendents that I know are going to be all hands on to figure this unprecedented situation. You guys probably the same as me. I've been getting peppered with questions. What are they going to do about the SAT? What are they going to do about this? What are they going to do about that? And there's no answer right now. This has never happened before. There was never an addressed backup plan in case you cancel the whole school year. That's not existed. So I'm excited to hopefully be a part of the solution and not complain about the problem.
I want to just weigh in. I've been watching the chat. A couple things. First of all, thanks for saying my beard looked good. Secondly, someone did say that, TMD. Just go look. It was there. Secondly,
It's Chris.
Yes, I do have bad beard days, lots of them. In fact, but I do, for some reason, I feel like the lighting's doing all right by me. And the third thing was somebody wanted us to tell us, Michael wanted us to tell just a little bit about our beard stories. And I thought that was cool. So for me, I started my first beard. I'm 40 years old, started my first facial hair experience this last summer with Dan. I had the idea. I proposed to him like, hey, how about take a new guy once a week? We do a live stream through the steps of it. And being honest with it, I didn't. I thought when it came time to get back to school, I would be done with it. As that came closer, I went through the ups and downs of that. And look at me now. Look at me now. No, I don't know. I just have it's really taken me places I didn't know about. So that's my story. It's a little bit shorter.
TMD, what's your facial hair story?
My facial hair story, I think you guys have talked about it before. It's pretty much a roller coaster. I've had a full beard. I've had a circle beard. I've had a mustache. I'm pretty fickle with it. I'll be honest with you. I try different things and then I get frustrated. And and you guys talk about this on the channel a lot, working through that frustration and trying to make it through. I'm just one of those guys that I fail a lot. And I try something new and I'll come back with it. And I usually don't tell you guys. And next time you see me, you'll see a clean shaven face or you'll see something different. And it's not, my intention is not to surprise you, but I've gone through a phase and sometimes.
Oh, I don't know. I think you 10% of you likes that little shock, the shock and awe.
Well, Steve usually senses it.
I do. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah. He'll go,
I'm not.
And he'll say afterwards, you go, I knew the other day you said something and I was wondering. And, but yeah, I sometimes just get frustrated and whack it off. But thankfully it goes back relatively fast. So
you're out of touch out of the classroom, TMD. You've lost.
Good. It's good that you're here.
Yeah, you've lost that sensor that goes off.
Yeah, might want to check that equipment too.
Yeah, sometimes you're just frustrated, and
But what he's alluding to is that he had some cries for help. We have a chat. We just keep going. It's just a long going chat. And he had some things like some feelers out there, some things like I almost did this. And, looking back, I'm like, I could have been there. I could have stepped in. I should have been his sponsor or what have you. And I let him down.
You weren't listening to me. You were listening, but
Dan, what about you? What do you know about having a beard?
So I have had a beard for the last 13 years of some shape, size, form. Last time I shaved was in high school. I actually started growing facial hair when I was a freshman in high school, and my dad hated it. I've told the story where he threatened to kick me out of the house because I wouldn't shave it. And then I pretty much throughout high school had a soul patch. At different times I had a terrible chin strap that just lined my beard or my chin. It was awful. And then for the majority of college in my early 20s, I had like a stubble beard, lower, kind of like TMD's like beard portion. I would go with like a 2 guard. I'd go with a 3 guard, sometimes down to a 1. And I'd go through different lengths of my beard. And then I started growing it out a little bit longer, kind of the mare's length. And one day I was watching beard videos and my wife said, hey, why don't you do that? I think you'd be good at it. I said, all right. And then as I started to become better at the video, she was like, hey, I think you should grow your beard longer. So it was really all Sam that encouraged the channel, that encouraged my beard. And I kept it at a medium beard for a while. I've been going longer this year, pretty much the last calendar year. So I've been all journeys, but I've had facial hair for the last 13 years. I went down to a 1 for my wedding, but I didn't shave. So I've had some kind of facial hair and been using beard oil for like 13 years now. And then question here from Gary Lewis says, y'all are teachers. Do you think the experiment with virtual schools on broad spectrum will change how schools are delivered in the near future? I would say yes, absolutely, but not in the way that some people have asked me about or alluded to. I had someone ask me, do you think they're going to shut down all schools forever and go online? No, that's one of the most outlandish questions I've ever heard in my life. I think it's absolutely the opposite. I think we are going to have so much more of an appreciation for teachers, especially from parents. I think parents are going to be at home and they're going to understand what a teacher does and how challenging it is not only to corral 150 kids for 6 hours, but to get them to dial in, to make them engaged, and to get them to perform. We have pressure of performing. We have stats that we have to meet, all this stuff, just like many jobs do. So I think like Doug said it, the demand for face-to-face contact, for actual human personality teaching is going to be greater than ever. I think when we come back in the fall, we're going to see just the greatest excitement from students that we've ever experienced in our 10, 19, and 20-year teaching career. So I think it's going to change, but all for the better.
Yeah, if you have kids at home, you already know that it is written on the wall that you are not everything your kid needs to. They need that socialization. They need other positive adult examples. We are, when they say, raised by the community or all, this is, I feel like even if it doesn't make you look at the job teachers do, which I would hope it would, the fact that all the pieces to making a community member, an adult, your child grow up into that happy, healthy adult, we can't provide those for them, and nor should we, So I think that looking at my children at home, they have needs that aren't being met without that socialization, and learning in a group and having discussions and debates and having opinions and all that is huge.
And even discipline, respect, all of that matters in the classroom. If you try to do social video, my son is in karate, and the only thing I care about at karate class is that he is getting discipline, that he is respectful, and he listens there like you would never believe, as many kids do, right? We'll go to conferences, we're like, oh my gosh, your daughter's wonderful. And they're like, I wish it'd be the same way at home. Well, it's like this at school, so appreciate that they can draw the line. And when he does karate online, he is nothing like he is when he goes to the actual building. So we're missing that separation, right? Yeah, everyone's like that. Some people are different at home than they are at work, and that's human. So TMD, what about you? What do you think about the question of, do you think teaching will be different after this?
I concur with what you fellas said. I totally agree. I think it's going to change a lot, especially for myself. I'm looking at a lot of my lessons now, and I'm thinking about being more sensitive to the kid who's not there. I have a lot, for whatever reason, it just seems like we get a lot of kids who are absent, and I'm thinking about, my lesson in a given day, and I teach it 5 times a day. And some of my lessons I could potentially do once and have kids, kind of that whole flip the classroom type deal. And I see that there's some ways to even make myself better. And so I think, both, internally and externally, we're going to see a lot of change. But I definitely don't see the schools going away. I think, we're a valuable, piece to the puzzle. And, but I think that parent side is also important too. So I just think we're going to have to start working together a little bit more.
Yeah, well said. Well said. And guys, our point of tonight is hanging out, decompressing, just simply having some positivity and enjoying the time that we have together. If you guys have beard questions, throw them. If you got teacher questions, throw them. Parent, dude, life, anything. We're just here to kind of not ignore the elephant in the room, but address it, be positive, be a safe place. And good question here by Silver Chef Eric. He says, what length would you consider business, medium, and long? So I would count business as anything that is still contouring to the face, such as the mayor. The mayor is at the limit of a business beard because his beard on the front or the face does not go straight down. His beard still wraps under to his chin. So the mayor would be at the limits of a business beard. I would say medium beard is any beard that goes down, and it would be up to, I would say, 6 inches. I would say up to 6 inches would be that medium range. And then I would say above 6 inches is likely in the long range.
And it all adjusts to how it looks on your face too, right? I mean, there's different shaped faces, different things like that are kind of
I mean, I guess it depends the lens we're speaking about. If we're talking about competitions, it's clearly defined regardless of your face, regardless of any other factor you measure from the bottom of your lip down. The difference with a business beard, you obviously can't measure it because it curves with your face. But the second it starts to lay flat and straight, then we start measuring it. So if we're talking competition, there is a definitive answer. If we're talking about in general, the mayor's right. Some long or bigger beards, some guys go out and you would think, whoa, that's a big beard, but it's not exactly a long one. So there are several factors to that one. So that is for sure. Oh, there he is. We lost him. So and thank you guys. Thank you everybody. I saw Dave said hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. We got Chris in here. We got Vinny P. We got Mr. Pizza Face. He said that beard stash is awesome on the top right. I wish my mustache was that strong. So TMD has talked about his crazy cycles of facial hair. TMD, what's your current thoughts on your beard stash? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are you thinking for the future?
I like it, and I've talked about this a little bit before. One of the frustrations that I used to go through was, and my collars, like a shirt like this, if I got, because my beard would kind of fill out down here, and I love the smell of a good beard oil, and I'd get that stuff on there, and I'd be just loving that smell. And by the end of the day, I'm looking at it, and I've got my collar's all kind of grungy, and it was just tearing my shirts up, and again, it's probably my fault. I probably needed to be a little bit more, not really put it on as heavy as I was.
Less liberal with your oil.
Yeah, it was all your fault.
It was all my fault. So anyway, I was just kind of getting frustrated, and I forget who it was. One of the guys on your stream early on suggested a beard stash. Who was it? It's a guy that's really knowledgeable.
Is it Nick Bird?
No, was it Funk Daddy?
Funk Daddy. I don't think it was Funk. It wasn't Funk Daddy.
Oh, Hype. It was Paul.
It was
Hype Stark.
It was Hype Stark. He's the one that suggested it, and I think Dan said yes, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
And we started looking into it, and I thought, well, I think I could pull that off, and sure enough, I started working with it, and right now it's kind of coming in, and it's got some depth to it. My fiance saw it the other day, and I think I mentioned that I have a long distance relationship with my fiance, and we see each other as often as we can, but she lives in California. So, we don't FaceTime, but we talk to each other 4 or 5 times. Well, right now we're pretty much talking to each other every day, and we talk to each other at great lengths, but we don't FaceTime just because it's just more convenient for us. We might take a walk or do something and chat. So she won't see my face a lot, but then, she saw me on the stream the other day and said, mustache is really thick. And it's just kind of surprised her. So, and that's, I'm dealing with it. I'm just trying to tame it a little bit right now. I mean, that's not the stage I'm in right now, is where I'll spend a lot of time, with my beard comb, and I'll just kind of, play around with it, and I'll kind of pull it and tease it a little bit. But I think it's starting to shape up a little. And
it's same.
Good.
Are we in Wayne County? We are not. We are not in Wayne County. We are north of Wayne County. Daniel says, is it legal to fire someone over having a beard? Depends on if you are in the private sector or public sector. Us as public teachers in the state of Michigan, it actually, believe it or not, goes state by state. We cannot be required to shave our beards. We cannot be required anything like that. So we could not be fired. If it's in the policy of a business, they absolutely can fire you.
But it still is not intelligent to use that as a reason. Usually they would probably find something else, because you get into the personal freedom of speech, freedom of who you are as a right to choose. If they're intelligent, they're not gonna even say that, which is kind of shady too. I don't know. I guess maybe you appreciate it at the end of the day, somebody being upfront and honest about it, but less liability of suit and things like that come into play sometimes.
Yeah, right. And they would have to be able to fire a female for growing her leg hair out as well. There's no difference there. So we cannot.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting. I know sometimes they won't fire you per se, but they can put a lot of pressure on you. I think just to maybe not have as big of a beard. Like take Dan for example. I know our boss, didn't she kind of at least allude to the fact that she wasn't real keen on it, but you were. I think partly because you always keep it well groomed, and then of course a lot of other men in the building started growing theirs, and the mayor included, and you brought us all along. And so I think in many ways, you've won over the crowd for people that didn't, at least at first, they weren't sold on the beard. So
yeah. Yep. No, I was just flat out honest with her what it meant to me, and then I kind of broke down some of the numbers of the channel, and she was like, "Okay, I can be good there."
And she what it means to the kids too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the kids really get into it, and the value added of being able to talk to the process of YouTube and stuff. So, what's up, Philip? One of my students that I'm missing right now, man. So I hope you're doing well. What do you teach TMD? Let's go through ours real quick. We'll start with TMD, Mayor, then me.
I teach 6th grade social studies. I had Philip in class many moons ago, and also his brother Eric there. So yeah, but it's fun. We teach at the 6th grade level, anyways. It's geography and cultures of the world. It's not the most exciting for kids, but I know my colleagues, Rorik and Curtis, we try the best we can to do what we can, and then we kick them on over to Dan, who gets him for 7th and 8th grade.
Yep. Mayor?
Well, I don't like to paint myself that tapestry of my life as like one thing or the other, but if I had to put it on paper, I'm an 8th grade science teacher, but really I like to think of it as so much more. And I'm joking, but I'm not joking in a way. I like to be a lyricist at times, but at least in my own head, honestly. But I do teach 8th grade science. I taught 7th for many, many years, and 8th. It is still a general science, not into anything specific, which is kind of what I'm banking on right now. I'm kind of hitting them each day with like a little bit of a general science kind of topic, getting their brains like thinking about stuff. So
cool. Yeah, I'm 7th and 8th grade social studies, ancient world history, from Mesopotamia to the Romans. And also 8th grade early U.S. history from Revolution to Reconstruction. Gary says, beards want to be a part of free speech, Mayor. That's actually not true. That's actually gone to the Supreme Court. I can't remember if it was a state Supreme Court or if it was the U.S. Supreme Court. Under freedom of speech is personal expression, and your facial hair and hairstyle is 100% under the First Amendment for freedom of speech. So,
and I only know that, Gary, due to my background in interpretive dance. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I really love to share some stories just with my movement.
That is true. That's one of the hats he wears as a teacher as well.
Well, I don't wear a hat when I do that. I don't wear much, honestly, but not as a teacher I do. But my dancing is something different.
Usually wears earmuffs when he's doing his interpretive dance.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're interpretive dancers out there, I'm just an amateur.
So one of the things that are changing are students that are selecting their college. We have an alumni of our school, a current senior, one of my former students. He got accepted to West Point today. So huge honor for did either of you have Mark in class?
I did not have many.
Yeah, he's time ago. Wonderful young man. But there's many kids that are going to be deciding their college based on Skype interviews, based on virtual visits. And Peter's asking, do you think that will change? I'll start out. I would say the percentage of kids that are picking their college based on visits, like actual college visits, is very, very low. If you look at the majority of our high school seniors, the majority of them stay local. They go to a college that is near them, whether it's a community college, we have, around us at least, we have great options in U of M Flint, Mott, Baker. There's Kettering, there's tons. So most kids are picking colleges they're already familiar with. It's a very small number of kids that are actually traveling to go or even have the ability to travel, right? To do that means that they can get into those schools, but they also have the financial capabilities to get into those schools. So I think that'll be a very minimal impact, but it is something, right? It's absolutely something that's new and something that's changed.
TMD, what do you think?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But I agree. I don't think it's going to change too much. I mean, if you're thinking about a college, you probably have your sights on it, and you've either done your visit already or you're pretty familiar with it. Yeah, I think kids will still have a chance to take a good look at the colleges they or already have looked at the colleges, and they'll make their decisions accordingly. This is going to change our life for a while, but we will get back to normal. I mean, it's going to eventually happen. Hopefully sooner, but right now it's at least for the foreseeable future, we're going to be on lockdown.
I'm going to go. I pretty much agree with you guys, but I'm going to just motion to say that I think as we make it through this, the generation of kids now going into school and our children will have a sense of humility in the face of nature and in the face of life, and perhaps a bit of understanding of their vulnerability, and maybe they'll make better decisions, more real world, more realistic decisions. As this plays out, it could get really bad. We hope it doesn't, but this could be a turning point for them, and I think that they might maybe they'll be more likely to do what they want for themselves and not follow a group of friends to a school or things like that.
Yeah, so Vinny P, one of my good buddies, well-respected guy, says, the whole school situation sucks. My apologies for the negativity, but the workload is too much for parents who are deemed essential. So Vinny, I think we would all agree that everything about this situation sucks, but I would hope we would all agree that especially in education, everybody is trying to do the best with what we have, right? We are dealt this bad hand, and I think that the people that are making these decisions to try and help kids are doing the absolute best. And again, I'm a firm believer in trying to be a part of the solution, not complaining about the problem. So my question to you would be, as with a parent of being someone that is essential and not able to be at home and help the kids in a situation, what would be a better situation given the cards we have right now? Because what it looks like schools are going to go to is going to be a three-tiered option. You have the option to have your work graded for a grade. So if you are in high school and the GPA matters to you, your teachers will assign work accordingly. They will grade it, and you'll have tests. You will be able to go through and get a grade for your GPA. Second option is that you will get credit. Pass, fail. Teachers will decide if you passed the class or if you failed. And if you passed, you get the credit for that class, but no GPA. Then the third option, and parents will be able to elect for this, is no credit, meaning that they will not get credit for this class, likely for a semester if you're in high school. And then next year, when the school year opens again, you will be able to be in school, hopefully, and you'll be able to start from there. So yeah, again, I think we all agree that this is by no means an ideal situation. Kids need to be in school. Kids need to be socializing. Kids need to learn face-to-face, interact, all the things the mayor said, TMD said. But I will say, I think we are absolutely doing the best we can possibly do with the cards we're dealt. I don't think there's any other situation out there that could be better other than, if it's too busy, there's not too much. We chalk it up and we re-roll next year, and I think parents are going to have that option.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I had to set my own kids down, and I have a high schooler and a middle schooler, and we just had to work out a plan. What can you do realistically? I mean, I get it that your teachers are just, sending little things here and there, but and part of my conversation with them was, this really isn't a vacation. This is a stay safe at home deal
right
now, and you've got to make the best of it, and you've got to do what you can to keep your brain active. And that's easier said than done. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm sure a lot of parents are dealing with this just like I am. I've got two kids who are not happy, sitting in this house, and they want to be out with their friends. My high schoolers,
even with the Beard Stache.
Even with the Beard Stache, right? And my high schooler said, "Oh, Dad, as soon as I can spend a day with my friends, it's going to be the greatest day of my life." And I thought,
celebrate.
Yeah.
I know. That's
And
what she's thinking. So, yeah, they just can't wait to.
Yeah, and Vinny says, Vinny says it's great to keep them engaged, but it's crazy hours. Yeah, I mean, there's just strictly no other way. Like we said, this is in the name of safety right now. So, yeah, and then to kind of piggyback off that, Phil says, wouldn't the last tier put students behind? Yes, 100%. That's why it's likely going to be in the hands of the that's going to likely be in the hands of the parents to decide that if they want to keep their kid back or not. I believe most kids are probably going to go with that middle tier. And I bet even some school districts are just going to unanimously say, we are going to credit, pass, fail. We're not assigning grades or GPA to this. So it's going to be, again, it's not a great, not a great situation, but it's unprecedented. There's no playbook. There's nothing that has been gone well, gone poorly. We are writing it right now.
It's random how it shook out for every person in every family. And, we aren't being asked to go and do 8 weeks of boot camp and ship off to a battle like the Greatest Generation. But, it is a hard time, and we will come out of this stronger. If you're facing that working and trying to find the money or the time or the people that can be with your kids where you're out being essential for the rest of the world, horrible. But imagine being in that super high risk age group right now. That's also horrible. And that's life and death horrible. And I feel like there's all and I was talking to my son about it earlier because he's like, just kind of expressing what we're all feeling. Even mom and dad are feeling it. Our boys may have spent a little more time on the games today than we had planned on, but we both were just like, we're just gonna yell and we gotta play the whole 4 quarters. We can't just give up in the first or blow it up. But it's so random how it shook out as far as what was a good situation, what was a bad situation. But at least we're not. I mean, I don't care how old you are. How many people out there are afraid to leave their house at all? To have people come and live their whole lives with nothing like this. So, just that's nature. That's random. That's what it is. And I don't know. I guess we were fortunate. You guys are fortunate. When things go, when you roll the dice, that's what I meant when I said earlier with the kids, like how to realize the vulnerability and the randomness and how things can change. I never realized that in my life. My parents didn't either, because nothing like this has ever happened before.
Yeah, and Vinny says, I would never choose to keep my kids back. I'd sleep 1 hour a night before I let that happen. Absolutely. And we're all doing whatever we can. I would say it's easier on older kids to manage themselves, to get the work right. My middle school students do not need any aid from their parents whatsoever. We have Chromebooks 1-to-1, so it's better for school districts that have devices. But I can absolutely see like first through fourth grade being really, really challenging on parents. Above that, I would say it's kind of in the teacher and the student's hand to be delivering information that can be consumed by that age group, but also by the student doing what they can. I know all three of us, the work that we are giving has absolutely no burden on the parents if the kid is doing what they're supposed to. So a lot of it's probably age group wise as well.
Yeah, most of my questions I get from kids is just the logistics of how do we turn it in, Mr. Luter? How do we, print it if we don't have a printer, and so, right now, everything I do, I send to them, I'll give them options. So you can do it in a digital version, or you can do it in a print version. You can just take a picture of it and send it to me and on your Chromebook, as Dan said, because our kids are, and that gives our district a bit of an advantage, being 1-to-1. And a lot of what we did in the classroom, I use Google Classroom quite often. often, or really it's our day-to-day tool that we use. So my kids are already pretty familiar with it, and I just made that my vehicle to send most everything to them. And then I get questions back. Again, it's not on, hey, Mr. Lou, I don't understand how to do this. It's just, I can't figure out how to, like I said, turn it in, or I can't figure out how to, download this. So we're getting just technology type questions that we're having to deal with. But as you said, I would imagine, some elementary kids would struggle with this. Our math teacher, she's been dealing with it. She, she can't really teach new concepts, and, she can, but it's tough for her, and she's got she had 18 kids on her Zoom yesterday, and she said it was successful, but I can imagine, some kids are just, a lot of them are just there to hang out in the Zoom. They want to, they don't get a chance to hang out with 17 of their friends that often, because right now they're, sequestered in their homes. But so I don't know how much teaching she's doing right now. And I think that's what's going to really, things are going to look a little different when we come back from our spring break. We're either going to ramp up, or we're going to continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go kind of rapid fire here. We got into our long stories, which is great, but we got way behind the questions. So don't want to miss anybody, so I'm just gonna kind of go through real quick here.
You drive, Dan. Just tell
Archie says, so you guys normally teach to standardized testing? No, not at all. Our school district is very, very far reaching, sometimes too far. We do not teach to standard. We have standardized testing, but we do project. I mean, we're way, way, way beyond that point. So
I wish you could show one picture of your classroom, Dan. That would pretty much answer. If you
right.
Oh my goodness, it's like Project Explosion.
Yeah. Dan's school district is not doing DanCBearded, or school district is not doing FSA testing. Yeah, we have dropped our standardized testing for the year as well, doing the year as well. Okay, divorce rate is up, feeling stressed out. I'm closer with my wife right now than I ever have been. Me and Sam have always 100% transparent. We have very little issues. I mean, I'm extremely lucky, but this time has been nothing but amazing for us. So I don't know about TMD. It's probably just a little bit more time for you. It's not too different being long term, just maybe some added stress with the health in there.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I can see that. And I read an article the other day about, how some people in abusive relationships, this can be really tough on them. And I feel for them. In that case, absolutely, this would be really hard. And if you're, having a bad relationship, this could just exacerbate the problem. My fiance, we try to talk through most things, but we just have a different situation altogether. So, we do have, we're already practicing social distancing. So, but yeah, even more so now, I guess.
Yeah. Mary, do you want to hit that real quick?
I get to do this with the person I chose to spend my life with. I'm very lucky. And I think I am more aware of that now than I was.
Yeah, and Josh said he's lucky. He's with his best friend. Same here. There's no doubt about that. And the mayor didn't just say that because Betsy watches every stream. He actually means that. So
I think I can hear through the wall, and she's watching something else right now.
Okay. Joshua says, did you get my question about beard care for works in the element? Josh, if you work outside, I always recommend beard oil only. Everything else adds some tact, adds some stickiness to your beard. It's not going to give you a ton of protection like a lot of people want to say. Just train your beard to beard oil only. That is the biggest one. So do you wash your beard every time you go outside of the house, or just when you go out in public around other people? Just when I go out in public around other people. If you are going in your yard, nobody else is around you, try to get in a rinse only day. Try to get in a co-wash only day. But if you do, like today, I went out and picked up food for us because we just kind of need that. That's our thing. So I went and got food, and I'm going to wash my beard really well because I got that food. So yeah. Vinny says he has a cardiovascular disease. He's had heart transplant, I believe. And so he says the fear thing is the biggest. So 100%, man. It's So each student has a device. How do you manage the students don't have reliable internet access? So at our school, our team leaders, the mayor and myself, our team leaders, we were charged with making sure everybody in our team, our students, have had the internet access. And if they didn't, then we reported it to the school, and the school will kind of form a plan from there. But we are I was even impressed with how aware and how on top of it our administration was, because they really want to make sure every kid's safe first and foremost. We actually wanted to have contact with every kid, and they want to make sure that they have the
ability.
The availability to get onto this work. So for sure. And then I saw somebody earlier question and then comment. GoHab said, Dan, did you see the Canadian military is allowing facial hair? Yes, I actually acknowledged that probably like 6 months ago when they made that decision, and it was really cool. So the U.S. military says that nobody can have facial hair unless there's like special circumstances, because it's about uniformity. They want them all to be the same. You're no different. You're not an individual. You're a group. Canada has always had the stance that you cannot have facial hair in their military, because when you use an oxygen mask, it did not work as well with a beard. Well, some bearded guy challenged that and said, no, that's wrong. Masks that keep things out, you do need a seal, but masks that need to keep things in, you don't have to have a seal. An oxygen mask is meant to keep that air in. And so they studied it. The Canadian government went in, did test, and there is no measurable difference with an oxygen mask with a beard or without a beard, with a mustache, without a mustache. So they got rid of that policy. Now, we have a question here. How do you form a tight seal with a mask while having a beard? If you're talking about the N95 mask, you can't. So that's why when you see in the medical field, you see these doctors, nurses, that guys are shaving their beards. It's because they're required to wear those N95 masks. And that is legit. There's no arguing that. There's people that are like, oh, no, that's wrong. The mask. But no, you got to shave your beard if you're in that situation. So
you also have to replace your mask like several times per shift. And that's people can't do that. So, I mean, it's all about hedging bets, I guess. You know, Betsy and I, we were debating today, like, do we order a pizza? And because even like we had the delivery guy just drop it off for his safety as much as anything. But I'm like, at this point, our parents who we really worry about are isolated. And I'm like, if it's that contractable, if it's going to come in like on an object and we're going to get it, let's be real. It is what it is. But we're doing the best we can. But we also have to have a little bit. Our first delivery food or first out food in a week. It was a morale boost for the troops.
Yeah. Mr. Pizza Face says, ancient Egypt versus ancient Rome. Hit the bell, Mr. Command. So he asked earlier which one was better. Ancient Rome was better because the leadership structure of ancient Egypt was ridiculous. Having the pharaoh system was a joke, was crazy. We had some of the most entertaining leaders of all time in ancient Egypt, but not some of the best ones. Ancient Rome was more superior in the military, more superior in their usually the handling of the citizens. So there's a lot there. Dave says, being a barber right now sucks because I'm making zero money. Bright side is I get to spend time with the little ones. That is true. I will say, Dave, they just cleared for self-employed barbers, self-employed hairdressers. And if you're not self-employed, if you're employed by somebody else, you can apply for the unemployment. And they're doing the $600 a week bonus for that. So you will get, Dave, whatever your state of Florida's unemployment rate is for the week, plus an additional $600. Now, is that what you're making? I don't know. Probably not. But that's still in the neighborhood of $900 to $1,000 a week, which is going to help. So make sure you check all those things if you have not there. I know that specifically because our buddy Joel, his wife is a hairdresser, and I looked into it to make sure on that one. So make sure hairdressers, barbers, anybody that's self-employed that is not getting work right now because of this, you get your state's unemployment rate and you get $600 a week bonus from the federal government, and that's right now. So they've expedited the application process. They've expedited all of that, which is good to see.
And as taxpayers, what a great use for my tax dollars. I go, this is a moment where I'm so proud of some of the ways I'm seeing people be supported through this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then where to go here? So Vinny P says, here's the thing, though. It's not really deadly to the average Joe. I wish I could comment the info of my buddy at Baylor Medical Center on the virus and how dangerous it is it really is. So the biggest danger is being a carrier of it, right? If people are going about it with the idea of saying, well, it's the flu, it's not going to kill me, I'm strong, I'm healthy. Well, one, it could. Two, you could bring it to someone that, and everybody thinks like, oh, it's just the old. No, it's somebody with a cardiovascular disease. It's someone with a 2-month-old baby. It's somebody that has an autoimmune dysfunction, an autoimmune disease. So the idea of being a carrier of it is the terrifying thing. And we don't know all the info, right? Nobody does, but we're getting stuff as it comes out. One of the most terrifying things that I've seen is they're really studying these cruise ships that they had quarantined. And they have now found that this can live active on a surface for up to 17 days. They've measured it so far, and it's still living in some of these rooms on the cruise ship. So that part's the crazy part, that it's not acting like a lot of these previous diseases out there.
And that's where you guys, with the hand sanitizer and the soap and the washing the hands, if you pick up something like that, you have to, you can kill it right away if you can wash your hands or use a sanitizer. But if you pick it up and you don't have that good practice, that's where it can get in and flourish in your system.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that 17 days. That's
yeah. Yeah, I just read about that today. They're saying that the cruise ships are like their petri dish that they're studying in the labs, because it was all controlled. There were no other factors, no variables. It's all within that metal can of recycled air, so that they're able to go through and see it. So yes, okay. I think it's hitting younger people. Yeah, so yeah, and it is, and that was a big talk for a long time. Is it's not hurting younger people at all, and it is. It's definitely getting younger people. I mean, it comes down to your immune system, right? If for whatever factors, younger kids don't have the strongest immune system, elderly don't have a strong immune system. So there's a lot unknown, and a lot that we could never really know right now.
We won't know fast enough.
Nope. We don't, and the people higher up, but we just know it's for real. This is not something to have the attitude. I think we can all unanimously agree to have the attitude of saying like, well, I'm not going to die from it. I think everybody's kind of got the scope of being a carrier of it, spreading it, and I don't see that argued as much as it did when it first started. Right, when people started thinking it was some scam, some hoax, something like that. Or it's just the common flu. I would hope everybody's kind of like, okay, there's something more to this.
We all wish it was. We all wish it happened.
Right.
It's not. No, ain't no way to spin this city into a positive.
Right.
No.
Yeah. And somebody asked, how long do you think it'll take life to get back to normal? And I would probably put the word in there, new normal, right? Because I don't think we're ever going to be normal again. And and they said your educated guess. That's above my pay grade. If you were to say to me right now, you need to closest thing, 6 months, maybe the fall.
What do you think, Todd?
That's a good question too.
TMD, what do you think?
Well, I think the new normal is going to be very different, but I think it's going to be 6 months to a year. You just take, for example, grocery stores. I was listening online there, listening to a news report that like Kroger's, for example, is going to be installing shields, to keep their employees from their customers, at least to a point, be any breathing on them, or and that's really to protect both sides, and they're not going to just install that to have something, to be taken down 6 months from now. That's just going to be a normal thing you're going to start to see. So things are going to be very different. It's going to take some time to get all that in place, but mean, even just to get testing, you know, and get a good vaccine out there, possibly a year or more. So yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, and Leo says the study was revised. The headline was not. I read about that, and talking about live is strange because the virus is dead by definition. Yeah, I would say that that's semantics, right? Kyle says viable. You knew the intended purpose there, so I would say that that's just getting into semantics. If something is on a surface, you can catch it and die from it. I think any average person would say that that is alive, right? The threat is alive, if we want to leave it at that. So that is 100% real. If it's here, I touch it and my baby dies, that thing was living. So I'm not going to be going into semantics about how that works, because we know we can catch it from surfaces. We know we can catch it from people sneezing. We know we can catch it from all these different things. So, and this is a big question too. I think the only the only thing that people bring it to is the Spanish flu, which we all have because of the impact and the similarities there. But the major difference is life. I mean, this was over 100 years ago. Where we're at now with technology and the bigger population and all this, how long did it take? I don't know much about the Spanish flu back then, if I'm being honest here. But I don't think the recovery would look anything similar. I don't think it can.
I've spent about 3 nights through this, reading till 2 or 3 in the morning about the Spanish flu.
Really?
I get sucked into it. This last question compared to this question are very good ones, because people rushed back to normal life. They wanted it so bad. They pushed to get back to it, and they got in those big groups, and they had 3 spikes, 3, you know, talking about what is it, like beating the curve or
flattening the curve.
Flattening curve. There were 3 curves with the Spanish flu, because people, you know, they lifted the quarantines too quickly and things like that. So that's where, you know, the Spanish flu was, you know, probably started in the U.S., believe it or not. It was just happened to be when people were invading. It was, you know, in the World War I, when they were going into Spain. But really, they think it was a hog farm, I think in Nebraska or something like that. If you read enough about it, but they pushed too fast. They lifted the quarantines quickly, especially in the urban areas, and it popped back up 3 times. I think it's, you know, the last one being like out of season. 2 of them were out of season, like warm months.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your concern over our beards and our health and safety. We appreciate you looking out for us. That is good. It's seasonal, so it'll go away. Yeah, we hope so. I mean, there were big figures that word for word said this will all dissipate in April. That was a fail.
I didn't get the answer. I would like to think, my heart of hearts says I'm going to walk in school the first day in the fall, like early September, and things will be more so normal than not. But I think that people will be different forever with this.
Yeah. And I think we've touched on that a lot. And we see it right now, right? We've all commented on how we've seen so many people outside, so many people riding bikes, so many people actually off of their devices during the day, which is, you would think would be the adverse effect, right? You're trapped inside. You would think that there would be people, especially our students and families, would be more. I've seen the opposite. I've seen them and I will say too, my numbers on YouTube have dipped. And I've told you guys that I thought it was going to go up. I'm like, hey, everybody's home. They're going to be watching my videos. No, they've actually taken a small dip. I've contacted other people, and it's been the same exact thing, whether it's Scuba, whether it's Beard Talk with Kyle and Joe that I just talked to today, a smaller channel. Everybody's seen those little dips, which is interesting to think about how that's working. So I got a question for you guys. What now the next thing we got to think about, and some of us are in that right now, is going stir crazy. So yeah, this is exactly what Rob is saying right here. It's going stir crazy. What are you guys doing to avoid going stir crazy? And do you have anything that's worked? People in the chat, let's go ahead and throw some great comments. I want everybody, all 82 of you, putting comments on there. What you're doing to avoid going stir crazy. TMD, I'll start with you. Especially being away from your fiance, what are you doing to combat this time inside?
I'm starting to, and you guys were doing this even before I was, but I'm walking more, exercising more, doing some things around the house that I probably should have done months ago. As far as organizing things, I know I could spend some more time doing a little bit of that, but it's a game. I know we all play a game, Pokemon Go. I played a little bit of that, so I play games with my kids. We play a lot more board games, so we always have fun. I think the mayor mentioned he was playing Monopoly with his family today. We played a little bit of Blockus and stuff like that, fun with games like that. So, I mean, I think, those are the kind of things I think you help your own family relationships to grow a little bit. And physically, I mean, the first week of the shutdown, I just kind of vegged. It was kind of cold out still, so I wasn't doing much. And that's when the stir craziness really started to kick in. So I'm trying to battle that.
Mayor, what are you doing to battle the stir crazy?
Well, one of the things Betsy and I both agree with is trying to keep some kind of routine for the boys, especially during like the Monday through Fridays. So we're holding that routine as much as we can. It's not perfect by any means, but I honestly feel, and this is just a positive, there's so much scary out there, but I feel like I got like a timeout on parenting and growing up and becoming a man and raising I got a timeout and perspective that I would never have had. Because I mean, we were so many out there. Every night we were constantly rushing to travel soccer, skiing lessons, ski club, or I was doing things to support and picking up extra jobs. I had so much time doing for my kids that I didn't really know who they were. And so I'm trying to be all up in who they are. Owen wants to play a game of pig. I play 3. I beat him every time. You can't let him. He can't be a punk. But I feel like maybe there's this group of kids, these parents, as parents right now, we have a real chance to really connect with our kids in a way that we may have not had. So that's what I'm all about that. Plus, little thing is all these like TMD said, running around the house. All the things that used to be like a little bit of like a jab, like I can't believe that's still in that place, or you still haven't fixed that, or you're still hearing that. I'm trying to fight one of those each day because there's a lot of them. And when that goes down, I'm going to go up in the attic of the garage. I'm going to take one box at a time and deal with some stuff that I haven't seen in 5 years since we moved in. Why is it still there?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I have something similar, and I love how introspective the mayor is. I feel like this time you've taken a second to like dive into yourself, and like a lot of people put up barriers, probably myself included, where you don't want to look too deep. And I feel like you've dove in head first, which is cool. And so for me, I'm doing the same thing where I just want to acknowledge my kids' wants, whatever they want to do. I'm trying not to turn them away. You want to wrestle? Let's wrestle. You want to play Jenga? Let's play Jenga. You want to go out on the trampoline? Let's go on the trampoline. Rather than before, when I would say, not right now. Hey guys, give me a minute. I just got to finish this up for the channel. I just got to answer this email. I've literally they'll be like, hey dad, I want to wrestle you. And I'm like, all right, this can wait. And then I go and wrestle them. My wife, I've been really, really, I know I'm going to be good. I'm mentally tough. I'm mentally fine. This is an amazing time for me. I'm more so worried about my wife. And so I'm trying to give her all of the attention and ability she needs. So she's really big into working out right now. She just had the baby, so she's trying to get back in shape. And so anytime right now she's doing twice a day workouts. And so anytime she wants to work out, and she has to shower after each time. So it's a workout and a shower. That requires me taking Violet, which is the big thing, right? It's a 2-month-old baby.
Heavy. Yeah.
I'm taking her while also making the boys lunch, while also putting Jax down for a nap, but giving Sam that time to be able to go and sleep, or not sleep, but be able to go work out, get her mind off of it. So my priorities are with them always. Once they go to bed, all right, now it's channel time. Now it's research. Now it's filming. Now it's live stream. Now it's this. Now it's that. This week was a little bit crazy on the live streams for me. So next week we'll hopefully be a little bit more dialed back for me. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm diving into everybody else around me, and that weirdly fits my personality and fits me. So I'm good. I'm great. I'm enjoying saying yes to all the things my kids want to do.
That's great.
So yeah, yep. It's been really, really fun. Question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Is there anything interesting that you have learned about your, and I'll answer first while you guys think, is there anything interesting that you've learned about your kids during this time that you didn't think about or you didn't know? For me, it's interesting how Maddox is like going through this big time of change. He's starting to get like embarrassed by things. Like he used to rip like just like a massive fart and would like make a joke about it. Then like today he ripped one by like accident. I'm like, dude, you just farted. What are you doing? He's like, no.
Right. You got mad about it. Yeah.
That's something that if I was at work and I was coaching, I probably wouldn't see that transition. So that's been cool to learn that about him, where he's at right now. But what about you guys? Have you noticed anything or learned anything new? Right, you knew that they didn't want to stay inside TMD, but is there anything that's been interesting?
I think for my eldest, Bella, she's a go kind of person, and this was the worst thing that could have ever happened to her. And the first week and so the first week she was with her mother, and it was a battle because we weren't in lockdown phase at that time. And she was just, every chance she could get, she was out with her friends. And then we knew it was coming when the mayor was going to, or not the mayor, but the governor was going to allow
Well,
us.
she did ask me.
She did, yes. Fairness, yes. So anyway, when it got to that point, by that, she was already over at my house. And like a day or two before the governor even said it, I said, you're not going out. And she cried and she got upset. And so it was hard for her for about 2 or 3 days. And then she got into a groove. And I was really amazed by that. That was one of those things and I think, kids, they will eventually come around to it. They eventually realize this is the way it is. And some of her friends, it took them a few days to get it together, but she got herself together days before, and I was really proud of her for that. I didn't think it was I thought I was gonna have a longer battle with that, so it was good for me to see that.
What about you, Mayor? Did you learn anything?
Owen is I am noticing pieces of the man he's going to be someday already like settling into place, and he's 11, just turned 11. He turned the last day of school, and probably this year was his birthday when he turned 11. And he's able to walk away a little bit more from arguments and just make some of those mature things that make me really proud. And then for Luke, I used to say Luke was, he would get on my nerves a ton because he was like me. And and it is true, but Luke is also like scary good at math, which is one of those random, he spun the wheel of fortune. Mom and dad were putting in 49% of everything, and neither one of us are super strong math people. He's scary good at that, but he also is super like creative and artistic, and he like has all this. He could be like he could do something with that. Just he has a perspective, a way of looking at things that are always like, it's always funny, and he always has like adds just something silly and crazy to the family. So I think I was in such a hurry before this happened. Like that's my big thing is like, there's no more saying that I'm too busy or in a hurry, because my calendar's pretty much clear. What am I getting worked up about? So that's what I've noticed about those two guys.
Cool. All right, later, Vinny P. And nothing negative at all, man. Just conversation. You brought up some great thinking points, man. And
oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. Nothing negative about what he had to say. Is talking from his heart a little bit and sharing some of the hard things that are going on.
Yeah, that's perspective that is needed to hear, right? We're giving work to students, and some parents are working and are essential. And yeah, man, you are appreciated, Vinny. So thank you, and stay safe, stay healthy. Corey asked me, have you been in contact with Scotch Porter since your new video formula? I have. So after I dropped the video saying I didn't like it and I gave my reasons why, the founder actually went on like a calling tour. He called other influencers and other people and was kind of bashing me, said I was malicious and said like all these things and that he appreciated all these other people and blah, blah, blah. So I kind of called him out on it, and he wouldn't call me, but his like top person did. And essentially they said, yeah, I said I wasn't malicious. There was nothing malicious about my video. And they came back and said, you know what, you're right. We have to admit our feelings were hurt with the video. And it wasn't so much what you said. It was what your subscribers or your followers said, that they came to us and you wouldn't believe the messages we got. And they had said that you're stupid. You guys are idiots. I hope you fail. And so they kind of took those messages and associated them with me, coupled in some like hurt feelings, and at least they owned it. And so where are we from there? I am currently not an affiliate with Scotch Porter. I was when that video dropped. They switched affiliate platforms and did not invite me to the new one. But they are talking with me about what we can do to make everything better, to make people happy, to make a better product. There's an open door there. I have no idea what the future holds, but we will. We'll see. So I have been talking to them. So it's been interesting. TMD, Mayor, guys in the chat, we haven't established this yet because it is part beard talk. What's in beard, Mayor? What do you got in beard?
Today I am going. I actually went back to my old Citrafella from I did an Instagram post for the first time in a while, and I put on my Beard Octane hat, and I thought I'd just do it upright with a little Citrafella.
Yeah, TMD.
I've got the Mad Yak dark citrus. Yeah, dark citrus, and I like that. I like that citrus smell. I mean, I love that. That stuff's good stuff.
Yeah. Kyle says your subscribers are at 21.2K, unique individuals with their own opinions. Absolutely. I said that had nothing to do with me. I said they were sharing their feelings, and it is what it is. I mean, obviously we've had a discussion tonight that have gone on very many ranges. Everybody has their own opinions and their own views. So yeah, for me, I have in, what do I have in right now? I have in Broke Donkey Beard Co. one of their numbers, and I'll be putting in their butter tonight. So one of their numbers, and I'll be putting in their butter tonight. So they go by numbers a lot of time. So yes, Jody W, what's up, man? He has Corner Pocket, which was his collab. He's a pool player, and Liquid Butter there. I love the ruddy butter, the summer butter there. One that's a great one. Essentially, beard butter, they've taken the long chain fatty acids out of it, and it's a liquid form. It's really nice. Really nice. Yes, Kyle, I am working on a review for them. Right now, I'm working on a review for Epic Beards and Broke Donkey. So those are my two next ones that I'm focusing on and giving my attention to. So I am working on a new one for those guys. So it'll be good. Ooh, Distiller. Yeah, Fable's new one came in today. How do you like the Broke Donkey butter? I guess you got to wait for the review. No, I'm just kidding. It's really good. Really, really good stuff. A lot of guys in here have tried it. So that's been fun. That's been interesting there. I busted out the Kushel bar today.
Ooh.
So right now, one area, I don't know if you guys can see there, I posted Instagram, but I touched up the mullet today, right? Made the little windows there. Okay.
It's mullet season. No school.
So,
it's mullet season.
It's mullet season. And so one of the areas I am addressing with my beard, right? This is a great time for guys to try and do something with their beard, is I've always kept a nice little fade going into my sideburns, and I've kind of gone shorter here, longer. Well, I want a little bit more body right here. I want to kind of come out this way a little bit. So to do that, I have to grow out these hairs. Well, when these hairs grow out early for a lot of guys, they grow in curly. And mine grow in real curly, like almost like a pigtail, almost like a wave. And I don't like that. So I took out the Kushel bar and I just go with just that spot right there to straighten it out. And it worked really, really well. Jody says the Kushel bar is awesome. Absolutely. I gave one to the mayor. I'm going to have to get one for TMD. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if there's an application for.
Well, it depends on what he does. If he lets this, lets that go a little longer, I would think so.
Yeah,
But at this point, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, Mayor, have you been? I know at one point you were avoiding heat with this stay in. Are you still kind of avoiding the heat right now?
Yeah, trying to back off of it a little bit. I just, kind of every 3 to 4 days, I'll still use it to straighten. When I get too much out and not enough down, but not as much lately.
Okay. And where's the Betsy Beard comments been lately? What's the status? What's she feeling?
I feel like she's always been very open and honest with her opinion on things. She hasn't said anything lately. I think she has a little perspective on it too. What was the last thing? She just doesn't like the cheek hairs, so I can take care of that. So, just for whatever reason, she hasn't said much. The neck length will get her, that'll be the next thing she says, because I get these little curly cues, and so when she mentions that, maybe I'll have to touch that up. But nothing about this, which is really, think about how far we've come.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is a different beard than when we ended the first series.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, just the whole mustache and I'm just, it's like all up in, if I get a little flavor of my own mustache and a bite of a sandwich, I feel like that's a privilege. Not a bad thing.
Yeah, and Jeff said the cordless cushion bar is great. That's what I have. I gifted the mayor my old cushion bar because of the new cordless one I have is amazing. I didn't need the other one, so it's awesome, absolutely awesome. Smiley Joe says, would you let Dan trim your beard? I would preface it, I would only trim it if it gets long. Like if it's beards like that, I wouldn't, there's no value in it. But if you got it long, I'd put my hat in the ring for trimming it up.
I would, if we ever got to that point, never say never, but he'd be the first person I'd trust.
Oh yeah. I'd love to do that. And it is going to be interesting to see what happens when we come out of this because of barbershops, because of hairdressers being closed. Like, I don't know how Betsy or Su Yen are doing, but like Sam's like, oh my God, do you see these hairs right here? And I'm like, no, I honestly don't, but I'm sure you do. I'm interested to see if people are going to experiment on their own hair or if they're just letting it go or what's going to happen for how long these barbershops and hair salons are closed.
I was thinking about that. Is the Beardscape going to be introduced to my children's like white hair at some point? Yeah. Trying to trim them. I think it would work. I think it would work just fine.
Yeah, for sure.
And it could be that, I think you alluded to this before, that you start to see a whole new crowd come out of this. People who are letting themselves, experiment, and they're going to experiment with a beard, and then a month or 2 months from now, they're going to say, hey, I need somebody. Is there somebody online that can take, can help me through this journey? They're going to be looking up the mayor and dance.
Yeah.
Mustache dude.
Yeah. And mustache dude. So, and I'll kick this to TMD in a second here, but I think this is the time to try something. I saw somebody that they didn't shave their head because I don't think that'd look good, but they went down with like a buzzer, and I'm like, man, I'd rock the heck out of like a buzz cut right now if I wasn't going full mullet. And like, I don't think people understand like how full mullet I go. Like I'm going for it, like real deal. I got the swoop going now. So like I'm going after it. I'm going after it. But TMD, this is you, mustache dude. Tips on growing a glorious stash like yours, and don't downplay yourself right now.
No, nothing negative.
Right. I don't know. I think for me, what I did was I let my beard grow for a while, and of course the mustache grows with it. And I just, and I think that's what, once I got, a fairly bushy beard going, I think it was one picture, and I've already sent it to you guys. I took a picture with my daughter, and I looked at it and went, oh my God, I look so old. And you guys have said your ages before. I'm 50, so I think we're all 10 years apart.
Yep.
So as I get older, I think I don't want to look older, but I get this grayness down here, and I thought, wow. So I I whacked it down, and I was about to whack the mustache, and I thought, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let the mustache go. I'm gonna go back with a beard stache, and I think that was, and because I
bring it in, Todd. Bring it in. They want to see the stash closer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is as thick as it's ever been, I think. So, but yeah, it's
you got to pay to play with that.
I'm not messing with it at all. I haven't touched it. I haven't even trimmed it, anything. So, I mean,
TMD, the mustache dude.
It looks really good. Like, I like it, man.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and the mayor was talking about how, he gets a taste of his. Whoa! I mean, if I'm in the shower, I mean, it's like all up in my mouth. So, and I'm not.
Yeah, look at that comment.
I'm just gonna.
TMD, Zach says, mustache dude is not 50. Dude, you look amazing.
There you go. There you go. That's why I do this.
Yeah, TMD's 50, you guys. 50. Great shape, too. Better shape than both of us.
About that.
Really important question here. They've asked several times. Sorry, we did not get a chance to get to it, but here we go. TMD Mayor. Dan, have you ever tried honey for your beard? Nope.
That's a no on my side too.
No, I have some habanero honey, but
I do too. Thank you, Gary.
Yes, thank you, Gary. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling good not having anything spicy tonight for one reason or another. But no, I've never tried honey.
I'm taking a break too. Jason says, Dan, are you going to do a home video on your haircut? I've done it once. I did it back in the day. I cut my hair fully, and the video did terrible. No one cared at all. But hey, maybe with people staying home now, maybe they're going to look up how to cut their own hair. Leo says, men used to get haircuts every week, but now who knows how comfortable people will get with doing it at home. That's true. Like what impact? I've cut my own hair for the last 13 years. I haven't been to a barber or a hair person since high school. So that's a good thought is, will people get comfortable, and will this change the barber and hair industry?
I think it might be like, honestly, it'll be like teaching, and people are going to do some awful things to their hair, and they'll realize how much they appreciate stylists and good haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's not saying that I'm not going to be one of those guys to do something terrible to my hair if I have to. I did about a couple months ago, I got some good scissors. The last person to get a haircut was Max, who's our dog. Betsy took him out and took my scissors and trimmed Max up. But she said they worked really good. It is amazing how important a good sharp set.
Oh, yeah. Did I give you those scissors or no?
You offered after the fact, and I can't take everything from you.
When I just have it, see, like I if you spend money on that, I feel terrible. Like I have those things. You guys check with me first. TMD, check with me if you need stuff. Okay,
I will.
I have those things. Did you get the Ring of Fire after Monday night? Okay, so let's break this down. So Monday night, I ended the stream with 2 fat lines of The Last Dab, which is one of the hottest hot sauces in the world, 2 million Scoville units, and I was fine. I got the heat hiccups. It was intense at first, but it died down, took it like a champ, nothing the next day. And I've been in the hot food game for some while now. I enjoy me some spice. I enjoy the challenge. I like the fun of it. I've done really crazy hot sauces before, and I've never had an impact, ever, at all. Right? People always say, burn it in the way in, burn it on the way out. And I'm like, that's just what people say. Like, I've never experienced that. And then on Wednesday, the mayor and myself both did some really, really hot XXX scorpion pepper jerky and Carolina Reaper jerky. Mayor, first tell them about the experience the night of, the actual consuming of the products, because you handled it like a champ.
I just went after the two. We tried we split them up, and because we're separated, we tried the two. And the scorpion one I liked the flavor of, but it was hot. It was at that top floor of the enjoyable building. You rode it all the way up to the top. You're there. You had a good view. But then you went into the Carolina Reaper, and that was the next building over. And that was in the pain building. It was in the embarrass yourself building. I put them down, and I kind of just took I didn't spread it out. I did it in like 2 or 3 big hunks, and it was, I got flush here and some sweating, a little bit of glisten. I don't think Dan kind of over exaggerated with some imagery that I was tearing up, but it was rough, but I got through it. That was me at that moment. Now, that's not the end of the story, but that's for that first.
Yeah. So for me, it was the hottest experience I've ever had. It lit my tongue up, almost exclusively my tongue. Normally when I do other things, and it's probably because there's sauce involved, if I'm just thinking about it right now, but my lips get on fire, my cheeks, everything. This was just my tongue, and it hurt, man. It hurt. The video's still up, and it was actually Douglas Grady who's laughing at us right now who sent us this stuff. And then, Mayor, take it from the night and then into the next day, because your night was interesting.
So my night was bad. Like, this is one of those nights I lay down and go to bed like 1:15, and my stomach just burned. It burned. It was just like, what did you do? And I started doubting myself and my choices in life, and like saying, how am I going to tell Dan that I can't do this anymore? This is so dumb. And am I what's going on? I finally get up out of bed, and I go and I sit out in the family room, and I Google like what to do. You just ate really hot, stupid stuff. And I looked up some stuff, and somebody suggested a spoon of sugar, and the granules would kind of absorb those oils in your stomach. I did that. I also took some Tums, and either the sugar or the Tums or the combo knocked it out pretty well to where I could get to sleep. But it was pain. Like, it was like, why did I make this bad choice? And it was crazy because it wasn't that was the worst part, was after. Fortunately, not on camera.
Yeah, I had the same experience, but mine was the next day. I actually went to bed. I was okay. I woke up and my stomach was just off, man. It was like going crazy. And I had to use the restroom, had to go to the toilet, number 2. And for the first time ever, I experienced that phrase, burns going in, it burns going out. It burned. I screamed. Sam was like, what? I was like, ah! And I had to go explain to her what was going on. And then there were several times during the day, and this was Jax's birthday. So Sam's like getting the birthday cake ready. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll be right back. I had to run to the bathroom, and I didn't have like diarrhea or anything like that. It felt like my stomach was going through that, but it wasn't like diarrhea. It was almost like I was like constipated at times. Dude, it was crazy feeling. And I told TMD I felt hungover all day. I felt like I was hungover, and it messed me up, man. It really messed me up. Yesterday, we had the stream with Scuba. I wanted to like enjoy a nice hard cider with my buddies, but I was like, I don't think I can. I don't think my stomach can handle this. I'm not doing it. I'm drinking water. I'm going safe. I'd never been so messed up from food that didn't have gluten in my life.
It was mean.
TMD, did you go and watch?
I did. And I was wondering about that. I mean, but then when you made a comment, just some errant comment that you made, I thought, okay, oh yeah. And then I kind of tied it back to it. And I went, oh, those guys are hurting for certain.
Yeah. And Douglas did it too. And he said he had flames running the entire morning after. Dude, I believe everything everyone said. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought those were all, because people say dumb things all the time, to sound cool and stuff. I really thought that was all made up. Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was some mean stuff. It was a cool experience. But I loved
it. I'd do it again.
But at the moment my stomach was hurting, I'm like, you made this choice, like what's going on?
Yeah, maybe we don't finish it next time. If it's on that level, maybe we
why did we do that? I don't know why that.
I had no pleasure in the rest of that Carolina Reaper jerky.
No.
It was, yeah. Did anybody figure out what that warmer was last night, by the way? Your face when she brought that up. Oh, yeah, I don't know. On the stream last night, Scott's wife, their household's a little different than mine. That was funny. Yeah. And no, the last dab didn't do that. I had false sense of security because I destroyed super hot sauce. And again, it was hot enough where it gave me the heat hiccups immediately the last dab. That was no joke. But I was champ, man. I didn't feel it. I was good. And I took a second. When I went back, people were like, don't do it. You're crazy. I've had that. Don't do it. I walked away like, oh, yeah, I'm just made different. Nope.
I think I didn't realize how much worse you could pay than heat hiccups. I thought maybe that was like the most embarrassing part, but
and yes, I want to do the 1 chip challenge. This is not stopping us. This is a part of the fiber of who the mayor and myself are on Wednesday nights now. So yes, it will happen. It is confirmed. I am human. It is true.
What is the 1 chip?
The 1 chip challenge is the hottest chip in the world. It comes in this case that's a little coffin. You have to wear gloves, and that's partly part of the show, of course. But it is so hot. There's all these videos. If you look up online, the 1 chip challenge, there's this big bodybuilder who did it once, and he got up to say whoa, how hot this is. He passed out from the heat. It's supposed to be the real deal. Really, really bad. And I know, Tom, it's sold out. I just checked because I want to do it. And it's really, really, really sold out. When did you get the last dab? Amazon had $30 and had a lot of bad reviews. My buddy Jake Rancourt, the guy who's a moderator, the handlebar mustache, he actually gave it to me. So I don't know specifics, Bobby. It's delicious. It's really good. It's really hot, but it goes away. And yes, I want the 1 chip. If anybody sends us out 2 chips, me and the mayor will do it. I'm electing him right now. We will make it happen.
Just don't tell my stomach. He's not talking to me anyways, though. It's good.
That's true. Now, did you eat anything the next day to try and combat it, to go calm stomach?
The night after that night, the early 1 a.m. thing, I just had a little, obviously I did, have a little bit of that burning sensation but I didn't have to change my diet. I think I had a little more water than I would have tried to be conscious with that, but nothing like too off with that.
Yeah, no, that's good. It was Jack's birthday, and Jack's picked pizza the next day, which my stomach doesn't like pizza anyway, even gluten-free, but I had to give the man what he wanted. So I doubled down on bad stomach day. So yeah. And Robert Allen, yes. So if there are 2 dream shows that we need to get me on, guys, we need the whole 21.2 thousand people and their families to make this happen. I want to go on the Hot Ones show, whether it's the game show or the YouTube show. And I want to go on the Joe Rogan podcast. Those are my 2 dream shows. I would pass up the late night show. I would pass up everything else for the Hot Ones and Joe Rogan.
Get
me on there. And some of them I have challenges with. What's that, TMD?
I mean, you got me hooked on Joe Rogan. I've been watching a lot more of him lately. So,
he's so good. So good. Chris says, should do the hottest ramen challenge. I'm allergic to ramen noodles. Otherwise, I would. So I'm allergic to a lot of those types of things. So that kind of stops me on some different things. But man, yeah, I would do the heck out of the Hot Ones show. That would be amazing. Absolutely.
Betsy has said, can you take lunch today? So who cooked up 3 packs of ramen noodles? I did.
This guy.
Who threw some frozen peas in for vegetables? I did. I don't know. The kids didn't really like the peas. They were a little put off by that, but vegetables, balanced meal, ramen noodle.
That's a good meal there. Are you guys watching Tiger King?
I'm going to, although somebody sent me funny, about all the It was a pretty funny thing about like how much the world's changed from just like in 2020, and then they like ended it with all the like the specifics about this guy and this Tiger King thing and how random and how he's the one getting from Oklahoma, getting everybody through this, as they watch his show on Netflix.
Yeah. TMD, are you watching?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I'm missing it.
Do you know what it is?
It's on Netflix?
Yeah. So I'm not through it yet, but it's, oh my, you can't even describe how many twists and turns this thing has.
I like
the dude has a mullet. He has a husband who is like the most interesting looking dude ever. He breeds tigers. You got to watch. Like you get as much as anybody could hype it up to you. It outlives that. It beats any hype that you can get.
Really? Okay.
It's amazing. Two husbands. Don't ruin it, guys. I was trying to keep them hooked.
Dang it,
guys.
What the heck?
Yeah. What is the Tiger King? It's a Netflix documentary series that will captivate you for 7 times 42 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just started. What's the? I'll think of it. A show. It's got 3 seasons, made for Netflix. It's got Jason Bateman in it. But I can't remember. Ozarks. Great
show.
I already know I'm gonna like it. First episode, I already know.
Wild show. Really good one.
I think for him to spare his wife's life like that, it was pretty nice of him, given the situation.
Yeah. It's
Jason
Bateman's pretty hot right now. I mean, he's that series Outsider too. That was good.
I've heard that one. So I heard that one opens with the scene of a dead child.
Oh,
yep.
And I said, I can't do it. So the mayor's always like embracing his sensitive side. I get sensitive with stuff like that. Like I can't see kids getting hurt. Like that wrecks me.
It's visceral. Like it's I get it. Yep. Ain't funny.
Nope.
Don't need to even go there.
And that's what I heard. It was actually the Joe Rogan podcast that was like, that opening scene is brutal. It just smacks you in the face to say like, this show's different.
Yeah.
But it was good, TMD?
It was good. It was. It really took me for a ride. And then I ended up having to watch it again because my mom came into town and she was, looking through, and she's not used to streaming TV. I guess she's just used to flipping something on. So I said, all right, we'll try this one. And then she got really hooked and ended up staying an extra day. And but yeah, it's good. It's a really good show.
Mayor, make sure you don't put that on next time the
in-laws.
You know what I mean?
We don't have too many that we can share together, but maybe we'll just tune in an old episode of AFV or something. That's good family watching.
There you go. Yep. And somebody brought this up earlier, and I think it might be a good call. YouTube numbers are down right now. Netflix numbers are through the roof. Do you think that Netflix is catching because of the binge style as opposed to individual DanC videos that are all separated? Do you think there's anything to that?
Yeah. I have a theory. I didn't get to give my 2 cents on that. I know for me, with the way news is, and whether it's your friends or just you're seeking it out, the last 2.5 weeks on my smartphone have been brutal as far as the next wave of the next big thing, the next numbers, so I think people are just staying away from their normal habits because if they're smart, they're just like, all right, you go away for a while. And I think that's where you take that edge off of your numbers and people on YouTube's numbers. And I think as we get through, and I don't know if it's going to get. I think I think we're facing some harder, like more bad numbers and bad facts for a while. But once people can find a good piece of information, and it's like their old friend, and you've been a little rough on me lately. Once this turns, I think that you're going to see that come back big time.
Okay, I hope so, because I thought the otherwise, but I'm not changing. I'm still working harder than ever. So hopefully people start binge watching the channel. Chris, that's what's your favorite beard wash? And I think we all three actually have this. My favorite is LCW by Beard Octane.
Big time. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So, Mayor, you still doing your? Because I know you had started the idea of getting some cardio in once a day. Are you still rocking your cardio?
You know what? I have hit it a couple times this week, but Betsy's got me out walking every day or biking every day, and so I'm kind of using that Fitbit as information as far as that goes. I'm doing something every day. Hitting that, as it warms up outside, and we really need that outside activity. And then between her and Owen wanting to run around the backyard and do stuff, I'm just kind of trying to be mindful of that. But as far as being on the elliptical, not quite as much. But I am watching that activity level, and in some cases, it's much more than I would have done before.
Okay, awesome. TMD is a walking maniac. You still get walks in, T?
Yeah, I'm getting some good ones in. My numbers were pretty low, and we've got that. I think most people have some kind of app to measure, them, whether it's just your phone or as the mayor mentioned, there's some, some watch or something like that you're going to keep track of. But I did see my numbers were down though for this year compared to last year. So I'm trying to get more into a regimen, but I have to. In 50 and all, I've got to do a little more.
Yeah, I think it was your the commitment to the game with us. We were all a little bit more involved last year that you were walking for that.
Yeah. We play Pokemon Go, and one of the aspects of the game is, obviously to catch Pokemon, but it was also to hatch eggs, because you get cool, maybe things are just a little better than what you can catch. If you can hatch it from an egg. And so the mayor used to be really good at hatching them. Probably you were pretty much a hatch master for a long time. You'd hatch all kinds of stuff, but you got to walk. You got to put in the time. Yeah. So we all don't play quite like we used to, but we still get a chance to play. There's another aspect to the game now where we can battle each other. And we did that a little bit last year. We kind of got into a routine of doing it, but now that seems to have grown quite a bit, and we're all kind of getting a little bit back into it, especially now that we've got some time. And it gets to call back on what you were saying as far as the pull from to Netflix, or the pull, or at least the push away from YouTube. I think it boils down to commitment. Can you make a commitment? To me, at least one of the things that used to kind of push me away from Netflix or HBO was I have to make a commitment to another show. And now I can make that commitment. I feel like, even though I'm a teacher and I'm still helping kids out, now I can stay up a little later tonight and maybe knock down an episode. I've been kind of getting into Westworld and HBO, and
cool.
And I just never wanted to make that commitment before. I thought, man, it's 3 seasons, or the third season's just been released this last month or so. And I didn't really want to go back and watch to see commitment. Now I can make it. I guess with YouTube,
nice.
There isn't.
You're
really
crazy.
There. I know it is. I'm just loony. But with YouTube, there isn't a commitment. I mean, you can watch, you can, come back to it. So I don't know. For me, anyways, it's that difference now. I can actually set aside some time now.
Nice. Chris asked me about conditioner. Tune in Monday to Command's Corner. Big announcement on conditioner. Joe says, is it best to wash your beards daily now? It's been a while since he's logged on. Joe, you want to wash your beard every time you leave the house and are around other people. So if that's daily for you, yes. If not, then carry on like normal. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, fellas. We got a lot of people kind of, we got Chris taking off here. Chris, take care, man. Thank you for stopping in. Terry's just coming in. Of course, Terry. No, just kidding, Terry. Thank you. But I think it's probably about closing time here. Got that last call song.
Closing time. One last call for beards and all. So bring us your mustaches and combs. I think is that the song you're talking about?
Yep. Closing time. You're a little off tune, but it was good heart.
Well, I didn't want to commit. You know, like TMD is afraid of committing to shows. I don't like to commit to songs, and I should have just jumped in the right pitch, but you know, I wasn't feeling it. But I do have to say how much I like getting to hang out and talk and getting to hear other people just kind of weighing in on this. It's therapy for me. It feels good, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate all you guys out there.
Yeah, and hey, in 45 minutes, this guy, Bearded Motivation, Dave, it's his birthday. In 45 minutes, I actually spent his birthday with him last year at this time when it turned midnight. I was with him.
Oh, yeah.
Happy early birthday, Dave. Dave will be live streaming tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on his channel, The Bearded Motivation. So make sure you guys go tune in for his birthday party tomorrow. He'll be giving away some crazy stuff. So make sure you guys turn in. Yeah, blow up his messages. Say
wearing his birthday suit, or it's just probably not. Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, previously we always are wearing that. It's just what we wear. On
Brian Bonds, were you creeping in the background, my friend? He said, have a good night. Stay healthy. Looking forward to the next live chat. Thank you, Brian. I'll see you on Monday, my dude. For Command's Corner. TMD, any final words of wisdom for the people?
Hey, well, thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it. I guess, for me, we're one of the big topics that we had was, just try not to go stir crazy, find some good activities you can do with your family or even by yourself. For me, it's trying to stay fit and active as much as I can. But I do love the family time, at least when I can, get them out of their rooms. So have a good night.
Yeah, I agree. And bam! Whoa, Fable coming in, swinging on the fences for us, throwing that buzzer beater. Anti-Corona super. Dropped in a 50 bomb. Thank you, Fable. I know one thing that is killing it right now is Fable. They are Corona free. They are anti anything. You want to bring a recession, Fable's going to crush it. You want to bring this virus, Fable's going to crush it. And that's serious. They're doing really well. Dropped a new scent today. I got a new one in from them today, so it's going to be amazing. And I am not live tomorrow. I may be joining Dave's live stream, but that is a tentative one. If I join Dave's live stream, that means I will be live streaming 8 days in a row.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Pizza Face. I appreciate you guys pick up a little bit on my kind of personality sometimes, and that's who I am. And I always appreciate to have calming words at times.
Yeah, absolutely. But think about it. If I go tomorrow, that'll be 8 straight days of live streaming.
Wow, you're like getting good. You're getting good like the Beatles got good. You know how they got good playing like 6-hour sets over and over again in Hamburg, Germany. They just did it till it was like nothing. And that's you. You're like the Beatles of beard live streams.
Yeah, Monday, Command's Corner. Tuesday, I was on Chris's channel. Wednesday, Majorly Bearded. Thursday, I was on Scuba. Friday, I'm here. Tomorrow's Dave. Sunday's that KC Beard guy. Monday's Command's Corner again. Woo! I love it, though.
Hustler.
All right, guys. Thank you, Colin, by the way. Thank you, guys. And hey, who knows? We may be back here next week talking about it. I think I appreciated our talk about going stir crazy, but I really loved our initial talk about schools and changes and teachers and the future. It's interesting. Yeah, I say, again, I think a really good rule of thumb throughout all of this is be a part of the solution, not complaining about the problem. And if we do that, we'll all be all right, man. We'll be good to go there. So check out the Nicholas Beardworks video from today. And, hey, enjoy your weekends. Happy spring break for anybody out there on spring break. All right.
Bye, guys.
Later, guys. Stay healthy. Stay positive.